Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, I am Rob, or OmnusI, or the Dungeon Tutor, depending on when you catch me. This is being put on both of my channels, Lair of OmnusI and Dungeon Tutor, so if you love the RPGaDay thing, get ready, we've got plenty to go through. Now, RPGaDay 2022. What is RPGaDay? We get asked questions or given topics. Every day we put an answer to one of those topics and put it out into the media, maybe through a blog, maybe through a vlog like this, maybe through a piece of art that we share, maybe through just demonstrate or something. And its purpose is to expand the gaming community, to put out stuff that's actually good and healthy and positive. And this one is more autobiographical than most of the other ones, which should be good because I love talking about myself. But, more to the point, I'm going to be doing this for 31 days throughout August. And again, a video every day, a little challenging. It's going to put some of my videos on hold, but it's generally a positive thing that I believe helps the gaming community, which is why I've supported it since 2016 and actually kicked off my Lair of OmnusI channel with RPGaDay videos, going through that August and only starting with my very first video on September 12th. So, it's got a history for me. Without further ado, this is the first question for day number 1, August 1st, 2022. The question is, who would you like to introduce to RPGs? And the answer to that is you. If you aren't into RPGs yet, it is my fondest desire to introduce you to RPGs. If you look at the videos that I've made for Lair of OmnusI, for Dungeon Tutor, many of them are introductory in nature, trying to answer the questions of people who are new to gaming, people who have these questions and don't have somebody to ask, as I did not when I was first starting out. So, who do I want to introduce? I want to introduce you. However, there are a number of people out there that I honestly believe if they had role-playing games in their life, if they had something to look forward to in a role-playing stance, that they could kind of escape the stress of the real world for a little while and play something that they could enjoy, that they could kind of change the world. You know, it would be those kind of high-stress people that maybe looking at the world through another person's eyes, a different perspective, might help them out. Maybe might make them realize that the way they're going might, you know, some people might not like it. Maybe there are better ways of getting what they want to do accomplished. Because I believe that RPGs are therapeutic that way, that they can teach, that they can make us better. That's why, honestly, be people like, you know, Vladimir Putin of Russia. I think he would be a great person as a candidate for an RPG to play, where he could, you know, be a Kender and Kryn and enjoy a time of the kind of a lackadaisical wonder of life, and you know, enjoy looking at the world through a different eyes. Or maybe, if the game master is canny enough to survive such a game, maybe see that you know, wars kind of suck for everybody except for the people who make them happen. Yeah, maybe he might realize that play like, you know, Twilight 2000, you know, post-nuclear war. He might realize that, man, I hope I never should hit the button. It would be terrible. You know, that's not a fun, you know, world to explore. It can be very deep and rich and moving, but it's genuine horrible hardships for a game like that. So, I think that people who are in a position, high stress, high, you know, with a lot of leadership over other people, I think could stand to use a little empathy and could really benefit from having a hobby in which they can leave all those pressures behind for just a little bit and enjoy building a story with other people and interacting with other people rather than just making other people do what they say. Just a thought. probably would never go anywhere. But if I was going to get anything positive out of RPGs immediately, it would be something like that. More realistically, though, these days, can you always tell who has played an RPG and who hasn't? I mean, even my own mother has played an RPG. She didn't go the best. She wasn't really into it. But, you know, I did get her to play one time, which was kind of a feat. And then, you know, we've done it, and I never need to do it again. But, you know, there's people in my life, and many of them, if they talk to me at any length of time, my love of role-playing will eventually come up. And, you know, something will drop out. It's like, yeah, the other night I was playing with my friends, and we were, you know, in my basement, my basement lair, with my gaming library right at hand, and we were playing this awesome game where they got to do the really cool thing, and then the dice went completely south, and everybody had a good laugh because this fumble by a person who seemed like they were a sure lock, and everything went wrong. But in the end, it all worked out. They made it happen. They made it okay, and we all have that memory to cherish. You know, something tangible. If you know me, I'll probably bring something like that up, or maybe they'll see me with my gaming hat on that has all my gaming pins. I didn't wear it today. Maybe I'll wear it tomorrow. But those are the kind of things anybody can be drawn into the game by a chance encounter, by a chance conversation. And so the people that I find that are creative, imaginative, some of them are just gamers from other game styles. They like board games and card games. Hey, have you ever tried taking that next step into tabletop role-playing? And for many of my friends who are not tabletop role players, I have extended invitations. I have tried to draw some in that I thought really had potential. You know what? Hit some home runs doing that. Matter of fact, right now at one of my gaming tables, I got a father and son combination. Neither of them started out playing role-playing games before. They are excellent. They are into it headwise. They are allowing themselves to get immersed and be in character and be a part of a story, working with other people. It's been excellent. And so, of course, I keep that hunger. I try to do things to involve new people. Once my game store gets in order, whenever that is, I love having public games, pickup games, where, hey, you want to try this hobby? Come on over, we'll try this. And I was running Swords and Wizardry Light, which is a really rules-light game. And people just picked up on it. People just got there and was like, hey, I have no barrier to entry. All I have is the time that it takes. And if it's only like once a month, what's the time crunch, really? So I can go, I can play with other people, no cost. No, cost isn't a barrier. You come, I'll give you a character. I'll even loan you dice to play with. Although right over the counter they sell them, you know. Gotta support the local store. But, you know, I want everybody to have a shot at it. Is everybody going to be a great player? No. I've played with some who weren't. I played with some who mentally weren't in the right space to play games with other people, and that happens. But I believe in casting the widest net I can. It's why when I go to a convention, I always run games. Even if I'm not paid to do it, I will offer games to give people that opportunity. It doesn't always work, but I try. I always try because I want people to play new games. And I want people to play different games, too. If all you've ever had was an opportunity to play Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, which is a fine game, it works. Many people play it. Millions of people play it. Great. There's nothing wrong with it. But if all you ever play is that and you never find Cyberpunk Red, Cyberpunk 2020, whatever you want, you never find the Princess Bride role-playing game with all the fun and humor of that. Or maybe Paranoia. Comedy and PvP in the same game. Some groups, that's great. Maybe you never play Star Wars or get into any of those wonderful IPs. That's a shame. They're out there. And there are some really talented gamers making these games. I've said before, this is a golden era of gaming. This is one time when you can play almost anything you want. Again, going back to the old school, the very original versions of Dungeons & Dragons, just a PDF. You don't have to pay the $600 for a collector to get a copy of it. It's a PDF, costs $10. You could do that, or you can go with Thirsty Sword Lesbians. Whatever you're into, there's probably a game for you. So, we'll talk about those as we go forward. Again, I love a plurality of games, a multitude of them, and try to get a shot to play them, try to give other people opportunities to play these games. That's my thing. Who do I want to get into role-playing games? I want you to get into role-playing games. If you're already into role-playing games, hey, introduce me to a friend. I'll talk about role-playing games. I'll answer their questions. I'll put up a video answering their questions if they want. Whatever. That's what I do. This is all, in a nutshell, it's a recruitment effort, really. I want people to love this hobby as much as I do. And even if they don't love it as much as I do, even if they don't commit to it the way that I do, it's great to share a common language with people, a love of telling a story with other people, socializing with other people, discussing things that, you know, come to your mind, that let you use your creativity and build you as a person. That's what I think RPGs do. There's a lot of tangible benefits to it. I owe most of the friends that I have today to role-playing games in one way, shape, or form. So, yeah, I want to share that with other people. So, that's my answer to this one. Tomorrow will be another question. Might not be this long because I get excited about this stuff, but that is my answer. So, from me, Rob, OmnusI, the Dungeon Tutor, what have you, this has been day 1 of RPGaDay 2022. Thanks for joining me, and check me out tomorrow with another question from RPGaDay 2022. And one more thing, if you think that this is really cool, you think that this idea of making a post or making a blog or something is really awesome, by all means, go ahead. This was started by a guy named the website Autocratic, and just RPGaDay 2022. You'll see the graphic that I'm going to post at the beginning of the video. You can start yourself at any point. The questions are not black and white. Go in any direction you want. Substitute something if you want, but again, keep it positive. And I look forward to hearing from you. If you do that, please link back to me or send me something so I can go and find your stuff. That would be awesome. But until next time, my friends, thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Farewell.